Sir, please.
Sir. Yes,
Just
speak.
Let me. BioWare.
Okay. Okay. What kind
BioWare.
are you?
Mass Effect.
Hey, buddy. Where are you from?
Dragon Age. Oh, Veilguard. Hey, boys and girls, welcome back to Midgame Life Crisis. I'm Werewolf.
I'm Inconsistency. You see, the thing you need to know about BioWare is that for a very long time it was basically two teams under one roof. The Dragon Age team and the Mass Effect team. Ran differently. Very different cultures, may as well have been two separate studios. And they did not get along.
So you got two little brothers that are fighting between themselves on the favorite toys, and then mommy EA comes and says, "No fighting!"
Pretty cool.
Wait, I'm trying to...
That's good to see you spending time with the kids, Mum.
But you're the right one. Mass Effect, I like you better. You're sexy, I like you better. don't tell fucking Dragon Age, fuck those nerds.
Ew, his mom would not say sexy.
Yeah, okay, maybe this went a bit too incestuous. That's not the vibe, guys. This is not YouPorn here, alright? But yeah, you get the idea.
What are you watching on YouPorn? David Gaider basically distills it all with this quote here. The fall of BioWare. That's when it started. The rivalry between Dragon Age and Mass Effect. And EA playing favorites.
Yep, exactly like that. I mean, he basically crashed out on Blue Sky.
Blue Sky.
He crashed out over there.
It was like, it's like, what, 15 posts?
Yeah,
One after
15
the
posts,
other?
one after the other. But hey, if you ignore the whole being a bit bitter about how things ended with BioWare,
Understandable.
which is very understandable, and you actually focus on the meat of his argument, you see
Yeah.
that there's a lot of truth in it, and it rings true because you see what happened with this company in the last decade.
EA happened.
Yeah, exactly. Now, we should probably mention Gaider is like an OG head writer in BioWare for many decades, since the Baldur's Gate 2 days.
Yeah, senior writer, Baldur's Gate 2 and Dragon Age, the trilogy.
Yeah.
Neverwinter Nights.
Yeah, exactly. So we got to witness the Civil War, if you will, firsthand, right? He got to see the first cracks.
He got to feel it on his skin because he moved from one team to the other.
Yeah, exactly. And we should just mention that BioWare is a company known for being a company that is extremely cohesive.
Yeah, tight-knit.
Tight-knit, working on one project at a time and then moving on together.
Yeah.
And then EA came in and said, nah, make two projects at a time. Good luck. And that started the rift.
Crack that turned into a rift.
Yeah, within the same studio and fucking up completely.
Yeah? Let's get into it.
Alright.
So, when you have different work cultures under the same roof, when you have a company that used to be a tight-knit family business, if you will. It wasn't a family business, but that was the vibe.
They were a relatively small company, yeah. I mean, up until EA, the EA acquisition, right? They were a relatively small to mid gaming company that were working together, focused on the same project together.
Yep.
And moving on
One
to the next
vision.
One vision, one cohesive vision.
One vision, one team.
What I mean is, listen, it only makes sense that a team of developers and artists and game directors and game designers that are known for making these extremely rich narrative RPG games where you are falling in love with the character, your hero, the character you create, or if it's a pre-created character like in Mass Effect, you love Shepard, right? You love his companions.
Yeah, you love the relationships.
The
The
dynamics.
world is rich.
Yes.
It has background.
Yes.
The characters have depth and development. The writing was the pillar on which BioWare stood on.
And then they made Anthem. I mean, what? How do you go from making...
Because EA buys you, and EA starts spreading the seeds of chaos, alright? They're starting sprouting the weed that will tear down and bind the company into oblivion. And then they will sell them. Or dissolve them, shatter them.
But I like weed.
No, not that kind of
Okay.
The weeds.
Oh, yeah.
Not weed,
I knew exactly what you meant.
weeds.
Hey, I knew exactly what you meant, bruh. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, you mean cinnamon.
Anyway, the fact that they created such a civil war inside the company that was used to being such a cohesive unit, it blows my mind looking at it back in retrospective, right? Looking back at it, it's ridiculous that EA decided that this is the good idea. Now, the thing about EA is that they're actually kind of known for giving you fairly a lot of creative freedom compared to other huge, publishers. But it's like almost like a, what would you call it? It's almost like a make-believe. They're not really giving you creative freedom.
Yeah, Greg Zeschuk, I hope I'm saying his name correctly, one of the co-founders of BioWare, said it perfectly when he said, EA give you enough rope to hang yourself.
Exactly, and this is one of the two OGs that created BioWare saying this.
Yeah.
They left, I'm not sure exactly what year they left, but I think it was around the time Inquisition came out, or just between Inquisition coming out and Anthem starting production. I think it was somewhere there.
Regardless, you can see this perfectly in the posts by David Gaider, his rant on Blue Sky.
Yeah.
When he was moved from the Dragon Age team to the Mass Effect team, who was working on Anthem, right? Basically, so EA says, yeah, they give you creative freedom. They told them, you have creative freedom. This game is a sci-fi Star Wars fantasy. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not what they told the development team. The development team was told this was a nitty-gritty beer and smoke sci-fi,
like a Blade Runner kind of
a space adventure
vibe to it, right?
Yeah. So what they're doing is they are pushing what they want to see. They see a Star Wars game.
Right.
The team sees something else. They have their vision.
Yeah.
EA says, sure, you can do whatever you want. But then they start parachuting people who are given different
suits.
Not just suits, even in this case, David Gaider, he didn't know they were taking a different direction. They told him to start developing it this way.
The writer,
exactly,
one of the head writers of the game, didn't know that this is the direction that the overlord, the publisher overlord, wishes the franchise to go. There was basically blatant favoritism towards Mass Effect team over the Dragon Age team, and they wanted to make Dragon Age more like Mass Effect, which makes perfect fucking sense when you see how the BioWare turned out. Okay? The Veilguard, whatever they call that shit. That game was made for babies, bro. It was a stupid fucking game. It was terrible on pretty much every aspect there is. And it was an insult to everything that was great about BioWare, the classic BioWare, and everything that was great about the classic trilogy.
That's the fucking point there, the BioWare thing.
Yes.
Because you can look at Veilguard and say it's a mid-action adventure RPG.
Right. Yeah,
right?
Sure.
It's a mid-action adventure RPG. There's lots of them, and some of them are decent. But when you slap the BioWare on it and call it Dragon Age, exactly, that's the problem.
And you dare to use the same characters from previous games and change their personalities completely.
Sure.
What the fuck?
Or the entire vibe of the whole world.
Anyways, we made enough videos talking about that game. You can check it out on our channel. But yeah, sticking to the subject at hand. Basically, EA came in and turned a cohesive unit into a fucking toxic civil war between them, turning them into two different studios under the same roof. Nothing worse you can do.
And they were encouraging the rivalry. Playing favorites?
Yes, playing favorites, yes.
Yeah, this will encourage the rivalry.
Of course it will.
They get more resources, they get more talent.
Gaider tells in the rant, he says that he went into
Mass Effect team?
the Mass Effect team from working from Dragon Age.
Yeah.
And he said that people were openly hostile towards him.
Yeah.
An OG writer in BioWare who worked on Baldur's Gate 2. They were hostile towards him because they don't like his vibe. They don't like they don't like
that he came from Dragon Age. That was the only thing.
EA basically, I don't know, I guess it's EA poisoned their mind against each other. They tried to make it competitive against each other, which doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
It makes sense in the corporate world because then competition makes you be better.
Give me more money, I want money. Give me all the money. That's basically, that's it. That's the paradigm that EA is working toward. What?
It's not even giving more money. It's make the investors happy.
Bro,
that's it.
Did you see what Andrew Wilson said about after the fucking Veilguard failed?
Yeah, it needed more live service elements.
That's his conclusion from the failure.
The correct one, of course.
Yes.
This was the one criticism everyone was giving.
Yes, exactly. You need to give us more live service elements in the next Dragon Age. That will fix all the issues we had with the Veilguard. Even though that game was supposed to be at first a normal fucking game, like a normal BioWare single-player game, right? And then it turned into this clusterfuck of supposed to be live service game. And then back into... They revisioned the vision for that game like 4 or 5 times in 10 years. So much so that the director, Corinne Bush, came in 2023.
Yeah, like 2 years before the publishing, before it came out.
2 years, bro.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
A game that was developed for 10.
No, actually, almost less than 2 years, bro.
Approximately, whatever.
Crazy. If you think about it, it was like
That's the whole point. The game is developing for so long that the entire team changed twice.
Yeah, Corinne Bush, by the way, was known before that for working on The Sims
Sims.
in the mobile.
Yeah.
That's who I want to be the director of the fucking next Dragon Age game.
Yeah, the nitty-gritty, dark.
There's nothing nitty-gritty or dark about that fucking game, bro. It's all pretend. It's all people pretending.
What it's supposed to be.
Exactly. It's what it was
But then,
supposed to be.
insert Sims.
Yeah.
Look, to sum it up, when you let the corporate vision start seeding the seeds of chaos, that's what you get. Because they start rivalries and they instill confusion inside the team when one part of the team doesn't know what the other one is doing. It's not a shared vision anymore. No. It's agents of chaos. You put one group doing something and the other group is doing something else, and suddenly you pull them out and you put them on a different project and you bring them back. It's a corporate. We can mix and match. It's no problem.
But sir, don't you know that pitting two groups against each other will give one group a competitive edge over the other? It will lead for better results, and
everyone knows the wars of mankind made it better.
Yeah.
Wars and violence and competition makes us better.
Yeah. Let's take fucking team that make Dragon Age and Mass Effect and let's send them to make a fucking live service sci-fi looter shooter named Anthem. That will definitely work. And if that doesn't work, let's make Andromeda. Let's make Mass Effect Andromeda with a new team that hasn't done anything before. That will also definitely work.
Yeah.
I fucking hate my life. Yeah, this is basically the vision of EA with BioWare. It's mind-boggling terrible, and I'm sorry. I'm thinking about how great of a game Mass Effect Andromeda could have been, or how great of a game Veilguard could have been. They could have been really good games if they only kept the same vision and the same unit cohesion that they had before. Why change that? I don't get it.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. The war would have been better if they had decent management.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all we got for you guys today. I am Inconsistency.
I am Werewolf.
This is Midgame Life Crisis. We are out.
Bye.